You know, we live at a time where things are kind of getting out of this world at this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just some wild things happening. This year has been wild. This next year is going to stretch us to our elasticity, you know, word to the beginning of the show. And I just want to announce that, you know, the U.S. Navy did kind of like declare that they know about UFOs. Like, and you know, people have said things, there's studies and all this stuff, but never has any government agency ever came out and been like, we officially do not know what that is. Can't even fathom it. But the UFO's been coming up in the zeitgeist a little bit more often lately, so let's go ahead and see what old Silver Fox has to say real quick. Yeah, here we go.
The U.S. Navy has finally acknowledged that videos appearing to show UFOs flying through the air are real. They don't call them UFOs, they call them unidentified aerial phenomena. The several videos they're talking about were recorded years ago by fighter pilots. Then in 2017, they were made public by the New York Times. More now from our Randy Kay.
Look at this thing. It's rotating. That thing, dude.
This was extremely abrupt, like a ping pong ball bouncing off a wall. The ability to hover over the water and then start a vertical climb from basically zero up towards about 12,000 feet and then accelerate in less than 2 seconds and disappear is something I had never seen in my life.
The Navy says it still doesn't know what the objects are, and officials aren't speculating. A Navy spokesman simply confirming to CNN the objects seen in the various clips are unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs.
The UFO reports were first investigated by a secret $22 million program, part of the Defense Department budget, that investigated reports of UFOs. The program has since been shut down, but it was run by a military intelligence official who told CNN they found compelling evidence that we, quote, may not be alone. Randy Kay, CNN.
Bum, bum, bum. Compelling evidence that we may not be alone. Wow, I just love how they slid this little disclosure out there. They're like, yeah, that happened 3 weeks ago, BT dubs. Like, I didn't hear that on no other sort of outlets and whatnot. And we've seen leaks, of course, occur over these times. What else have we been seeing occur? Y'all heard about these loud booms happening all across America? What does that have to do with anything? Like, why do all these things have to happen, but there's so many undisclosed explanations? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever knows what really is going on, yet we just all have these $22 million government programs our taxes are paying for to keep us in the dark. Like, are you kidding me? I could only imagine what that black market budget looks like. It's probably on some crazy stuff, y'all. But just to continue with the UFO narrative and vibe, like these UAPs, unidentified aerial personnel, what do they call it? It's just some crap, man. Like, they said, we don't know what UFOs are, but we do know what UAPs are. Like, how petty is this? But I guess we should have seen it coming. They've done this for a long time. They've always prepped us for this and let us know that these things are coming in a little bit of doses just so the American can handle it. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You can't handle the truth. That's literally what they feel about us, guys. But let's go to good old Reagan to see what he talked about. Let's revisit his speech again, because back in the day, I think he said something about this too, didn't he? Let's check it out.
I have spoken today of a vision and the obstacles to its realization. More than a century ago, a young Frenchman, Alexis de Tocqueville, visited America. After that visit, he predicted that the two great powers of the future world would be, on one hand, the United States, which would be built, as he said, by the plowshare, and on the other, Russia, which would go forward again, as he said, by the sword. Yet need it be so? Cannot swords be turned to plowshares? Can we and all nations not live in peace?
One sword versus 1,000.
With antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
We can't let these guys just keep on pissing on us. You know, they're R. Kellying us to the fullest extent. We cannot have it no more. We know about UFOs. Now we know about UAPs. We know about USOs, unidentified submerged objects. Yeah, you remember all that UFO ground Bermuda Triangle type activity? That vibe too. All of this stuff seems like setting up for a grand distraction, to be honest. And this distraction, in my opinion, is going to be a Project Bluebeam type thing. And my real conspiracy folk out there, I know you know what Project Bluebeam is. But for everybody else, let me go ahead and peel that back. Project Bluebeam was like some government codename documents in which they would stage a false return of the Messiah based off of delusions in the sky to get everybody thinking that that time was nigh. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be high if you think that that's really gonna happen. If they could stage something so surreal, so ethereal, that it would convince people that, like me and you, that this is happening. You know what I'm saying? There is an invasion. We have made contact. This is here right now. Let's unite under the United States New World Order of all that crap. They've all been co-opted, man. It's just crazy to know that we live in these times where we're going to be seeing this on our screen. You know what I'm saying? And just to give you guys a preview of what they could be showing, I don't know. I'm not Hollywood. I don't know what they have in store, and I'm not you. I'm not all of us at one time. That would be the God, the you and I verse, whatever you want to call it. But there is something that kind of like talks about this, and this is called like a coronal mass ejection. You know, I talked to you last week about them messing up our stuff with the fire and the sun going some things, but now there's also magnetic fields that can be affected and pole switching that can be affected by these coronal mass ejections. And let's see what this looks like and see if that could cause a distraction that would make everybody else look around. Yeah, we're gonna see what that looks like.
Maybe the Mayans were right after all, just a few years off. There's a 1 in 8 chance the Earth may be hit with a catastrophic solar storm by the year 2020, according to a new report from space physicists. The sun changes in intensity on an 11-year cycle, and at its high intensity can propel charged particles into space at 4 million miles per hour, hitting the Earth's atmosphere and creating glowing ribbons of light known as auroras. Such light shows can wreak havoc on electrical systems, cause radio blackouts, and more. The last such storm in 1859, known as the Carrington event, set fire to telegraph stations. Researchers estimate a new event could cause $2 trillion in damages, paralyze electrical grids, disrupt GPS systems and radio communications, and require a decade's worth of repairs. Paging John Cusack and Nick Cage. Better get this disaster movie in production. Theaters may not have the juice to play it after the fact.
Want more science?
Hardy hard, real funny guy, real funny. Good job. But like, wow. Could you imagine the Aurora Borealis in the southern hemisphere? You walk outside one day, you turn on your news, your Apple Watch bumps you, and it's like, Russia drops nuclear bomb, don't go outside. Bird box, baby. Don't look at the sky, don't see what's going on. Don't know what's going on. They want you to be bird boxed out here just so they could like tear yours up, you know what I'm saying? And it's pretty messed up, like how good they can like smooth it in like this, because they could throw anything at us right now. We would just be like, huh, what? But not us, right? So let's keep it that way. And if they want to bring something supernatural into play, then all right, let's meet them up, because guess what? We've been here for some time, and we know what happens here on this earth plane. So we will embrace the Martians. WDYO, Director Dank. You already know who it is. Synchronous City. Kid Cudi, embrace the Martian.